Okay, the first question. Describe to me the story of how you got engaged.
Well, we graduated from high school, and we had decided that after we graduated, she was going to go to beauty school and I was going to go to barber school. But we wanted to be together for the rest of our lives, so it was kind of a mutual agreement that we would get engaged. And we went together and picked out the rings.
Nice. So, second question. Would you tell me about your wedding day? Like, what was the lead up to it?
Yes. My parents had moved to Oklahoma at the time, and we had lived in Burton, Kansas, is where we got married. So we had to stay at a friend's house, or my family did. His family was still in Mount Hope, Kansas. So we had to stay at a friend's house because my parents had already moved. So then when the day we got married was August 23rd, and it was a pretty warm day that day, and we had two little cousins that were ring bearers. Our youngest sisters were candlelighters, and our other sisters were bridesmaids, and then two of Terry's friends were his best men. And it was an evening wedding, and Grandpa was really nervous. But it was a pretty wedding.
That's good. I'm sure it's hard to remember the, minor.
It is, because it's been
things.
over 50 years ago.
Yes. What is your favorite aspect about each other?
Well, my favorite one, besides loving me like he does, is he can talk to strangers so easily, which is something I've never been able to do. So when we're in a room full of people, he can visit, and I'm more of the wallflower type.
Well, for me, she just takes care of all the finances. She's so much smarter than I am that I just let her take care of that, and she's done a fantastic job.
Would you tell me what your wedding rings mean to you? Like, do they hold specific, like, you guys got it because that's the one you guys wanted together, or was there a specific meaning to it?
Yeah, we went and picked him out together. Now, mine, the diamond set up so high that we had to replace it. So he got me a different one that I wear now, but I still have my original set. Mm-hmm. And we still have his original, but it's really worn, and we kept it. But I got him another one too, simply because of all the years.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine that it would wear down over time.
They do wear out or down.
Tell me about the most difficult part of being married. Like, have you had specific times in your marriage where it's been tested more, or if, like, more recently, if it's been tested more because you're together more, or was in, like, the earliest part of your marriage more difficult because you guys were in school and trying to figure out life?
I would say probably raising the kids was a difficult time, because you don't always agree on discipline, or you don't always, it's kind of tough. And being a parent, you don't have any guidelines.
Yeah.
You just have to go by how your parents were before you, and you can choose to be good parents, or you can choose to be bad parents. It's all on you, but there are no guidelines. I think that's probably been some of the roughest times while married.
And the roughest times, well, for both of us, was when I was traveling. There was times I'd be gone for 5 days in a row during the week, and she would have to take care of everything at home, and I was out there going, gosh, I miss my family.
Yeah. And it seemed like your Uncle Kyle always had his accidents when Papa was out of town. So I had to take care of him.
Yeah, and there weren't cell phones where you could call him right away and be like, guess what happened?
No cell phones.
And I guess the other part of that is hard times is when I was working as a deputy at the jail and worked so many hours. And that was hard because we couldn't do a lot of family things because of the hours I was working.
Yeah, because sometimes he worked nights, so he would be sleeping in the day when I was up, and up at night when I was sleeping.
Yeah, I remember that. It was difficult to get everyone together, especially Christmas. Christmas was trying to find everyone's schedules because some years you were gone, some years Mom was gone, and so trying to get everyone right there.
Right. Not always easy.
No. How did having children change your relationship?
Oh, I mean, we enjoyed life before the kids, but that's just an extra bonus. I mean, it didn't really change our relationship that much, did it?
No,
Busier.
Yeah.
busier, and I think we had to make time for ourselves. As even we love the kids to death, but there was times you just have to get away for a little bit. But
We did have to make some time for.
but
We
I
were in a
think,
bowling league and had a sitter once a week.
but we
back
were at
then.
the point we've been married 3 years, I guess, and we had our first one, and so we were ready to have kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that changes it when you're ready and when you're not.
Yeah.
What do you do to keep your marriage interesting? Like you guys said when you guys first had kids, you had bowling one night a week. What do you guys do now? Like, do you?
Oh, we like to go out and eat once in a while and hang out with our good friends. And church is a big part of what we do, singing the choir and stuff together. And then our place down at Cedar Blue in Oklahoma, sometimes just the two of us, and we enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but sometimes we just sit there and watch TV together, and that's some of our best times.
Yeah.
I think simple stuff like that is important too. You don't have to make some extravagant thing to go do together. I like what you guys said, just sitting around watching TV together is some of the best times I have with you guys.
Yeah,
it's just
it
sitting
is
there
just-
talking about the different shows and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the best advice you would give to a young couple that is getting married?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say get to know each other better before you start a family, if that's what you plan on, but really get to know each other's likes and dislikes. And
Because even though you know the person and you love them and you want to be with them, you don't know all of their
idiosyncrasies.
Yes. And so you do want to, and when you're young, and as young as we were, because we were 19, we grew up together, and she's my best friend.
Yeah. And like you guys said, and like Nana said, with talking to each other and make sure you know each other, because you guys said that discipline was always one thing that you guys didn't always agree on, and it's good to know before you have kids if your views line up or are close to each other.
Yeah, it's close,
so you're
but
not
you won't always be on the same page with that. But sometimes that's okay because you need to hear a different point of view than what yours is.
Yeah, because everyone comes from a different background, so what you think could be right is not right, and what they think is right could not be right.
Right.
Where do you see your relationship as a married couple in 10 years?
That's a good one. Let's see, sitting around watching television together.
But with new needs.
Yeah. And with Papa going, huh?
And we want to do some more traveling in the next 10 years.
Yeah, if we
And
can.
If we can, we want to. And we love to do cruises, but we also want to see some of the states.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I've heard of some people making like a list and they've mapped out which states they can go to in a row and how long it would take and stuff.
Right. And a lot of people like to be able to say they've been to all 50 states, you know, and so.
Yeah. Or like how Grandpa and Grandma go to all the national parks or whatever.
Right. People have different things they like to do, yes.
Yeah. I guess you kind of already answered this one, but describe to me how your relationship has changed throughout the different stages of life. Like, as Papa retired and as, like, Mom went off to school and as Uncle Kyle moved to Oklahoma and different
And
stuff like that.
that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Your mom got married the same time Uncle Kyle moved to Oklahoma, so we were really empty nests there really quick.
Yeah, you went from having 2 to all of a sudden.
Actually, we had 3 because your dad lived with
Oh
us
yeah,
at that time too.
I forgot that Dad lived with you guys too.
But I will say that some of the best stages after the kids had grown up was our grandkids. We have so totally enjoyed being able to go to all of their events as much as we could, more so the kids here than in Oklahoma, but that's been one of the joys of our lives, hasn't it?
Yeah. And what you'll find out is it's really funny because we tried to be very involved with the kids at school, things like band boosters or things like that. But you have a certain segment of the people that have kids the same age, and you're around them a lot. And then when they all graduate and they get away, you're not around those folks as much, except our close friends that we've had. And then the grandkids come along, and all of a sudden you're seeing these same people coming to the same thing,
Yeah.
but they're as grandparents instead of parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What has your favorite stage of your relationship been? So you guys said having kids and grandkids was one of your favorite parts, but between the two of you, what has been your favorite?
I think every stage has been. I don't know that I could say one's been more favorite than another. I mean,
Well, as long as we've been together, every stage is a little different, but we enjoy it each stage. But if I had to pick one out, I think it was having the kids and then having the grandkids and knowing that for the first time.
yeah,
We were so excited both times that, oh, we're going to have babies and now we're going to have grandbabies.
yeah,
I think that's the goal, to not be able to choose, that every stage has been
it's
great.
It has been, and now it's great.
Yeah. What part of yourself has grown the most in your marriage? So, looking back, did you start out as maybe not being as mature and you matured with each other, or with Papa's sense of humor, your sense of humor grew, or not?
I think for me, my patience has grown better. I feel like sometimes I think when I was young I was hot-headed and flew off the handle easy, and as you grow older you realize that some things aren't worth it. It's not worth fighting over, or it's not worth the time you spend on it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So my patience has, I think, gotten better.
Well, and I think my temper, I had to control my temper when I was playing ball in sports and things, but I was quick to snap sometimes when I shouldn't have been. And you learn that patience with kids.
Yes, they definitely.
They push your boundaries, and
Yes.
sometimes you lose patience with them.
And that's when you
We've done
take
that.
a breath and walk away and be like, I'll speak to you in a minute.
That's why I'd hand them to her mother.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be back. You take care of them. What is one word that you would best describe your marriage? You would use to best describe your marriage?
Love and friendship. That's 2 words, but I'd say love.
And I think too that Christian based
Based.
has been a very key part in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Yeah, our faith has been.
Faith is a good word because it can go over everything. It can go with the Christian values and faith as a couple. As you believed that you could make it through all those hard parts and the good parts
That's
and
right.
the ugly parts.
That's right.
Describe to me what it feels like to have a 50th wedding anniversary.
It was came fast.
Didn't feel like that
But
much time had passed.
No, but it never does. Time. And when they say, oh, time goes faster, you think, how can it? But it does. But it was a wonderful 50th anniversary because we got to spend it with all of our kids.
Yes.
And that was the joy to me, even though I was just 4 weeks out of knee replacement. It was still a great time. I'll always
It was
cherish
hard,
it.
but it was great.
It was. I'll always cherish that time.
Yeah, and I think when you look back on our marriage, you want to have something that you leave with the world. And we've left our world with really good kids. And that's what makes
And grandkids.
grandkids.
I feel
That's what I meant.
I feel like that's everyone's goal is to make good people.
Yeah, it is.
And we're very proud of our kids and grandkids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So far, they seem to all be good people.
I don't know. I think we're pretty
I
great.
do too. I think you're great people.
We came
Me
from
too.
2 great people. Well, that's all I have. Do you have anything else that you would say, any advice you would give?
If you set a goal, go for it. And nothing's too out of reach. If that's what you want, go for it.
Yeah, I think, and you kids are doing it. Get your education along with your goal and keep working. I didn't have the education, so I've worked different positions and different jobs. And I think if you can find one, you can make a bigger difference in the world by having your education.
But you had it that you could touch many people because you got to work with so many people in different places.
Yeah, that's true. I was in sales for a long time and law enforcement when I was younger as a reserve. And then when I went out to the jail as a deputy out there, I really felt like I could reach people.
Yeah.
And your Nana, she gets to visit with people every day and almost acts as a therapist in a lot of ways.
Sometimes in my
Yes.
business.
I can see how that would be because they sit there and as you're doing their hair, they're like, guess what?
Yeah. And sometimes overshare, but then sometimes people just need to talk.
Yeah, I can see that. They find you as a comfort person and they see you every week or every 2 weeks and they're like, I can trust her with my life.
Yeah. And she has that trust. She's not a gossiper, and that makes...
Yeah.
I hope this gets you an A.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.